Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Recession. Let's talk about recession. You know, so many people talk about what's going to go bad during a recession or during a market crash, all the things that are going to crash in price, and very few times do we highlight the things that are going to go up in price. We talk about things like gold and silver during currency revaluations and all of that kind of stuff, but what about the stock market? When everybody's looking in inflationary times for yield, or when the stocks finally turn over and the whole market starts running downhill, what is a safe haven, all right? I've got an interesting idea, and this is a sponsored video. I want to thank the sponsor, and this is sponsored by LQR House, or you could think Liquor House, and that's what we're going to talk about today, because one thing that does very good during a recession or during a crash is alcohol sales. Let's talk about the Great Shutdown. How many people ran out of their house when they were being told, hey, you can't go to work tomorrow, everything's shutting down, stores are shutting down, the world's over, oh my gosh, stock market's collapsing? How many people ran down to the store and bought themselves 12-pack or a bottle of vodka?
I didn't. I mean, did I?
No, I do remember. I actually went to Costco and I saw people loading up. I was literally watching somebody. I'll never forget it. And I was going by and they had a cart with like cases of that Kirkland vodka. And I walked by and I'm like, who's throwing the party? And the guy said to me, he goes, well, if the world's ending, I want it to end on a happy note. It's literally, people are stuffing toilet paper and booze and beer into their carts because, hey, you never know what's going to happen. Think about this. We're moving into recession, and I found some information that's really interesting because throughout history, especially during the Great Depression, obviously during Prohibition, but the Great Depression and the Great Recession, alcohol sales went through the roof. And it seems like, and it's been said over and over again, that alcohol sales are recession-proof, and they do well not only during recessions, but then during boom times, you see really high-end labels and things like that take off, and sales are doing really good. Well, it says here that economists have warned that the country has a 100% chance of entering a recession within the next 12 months. One financial expert predicts the recession will be severe, long, and ugly. The United States entered a technical recession in July. Many investors are scurrying to find investments that can be recession-proof. Some financial investors are suggesting that alcohol stocks could be a worthwhile investment during a recession. However, not all liquor and beer brands will be a solid investment during a recession. Well, I'm pretty sure you can guess which stock's coming to mind right now, and that's, well, anyone that's tied to Bud Light. Yeah, and think about this. Think about this. We've got companies that have come out and said, oh, we're gonna push a narrative and this is gonna be great, and only to find out that they're collapsing now because people don't want that. So the question is, are alcohol stocks recession-proof? A resource for data regarding the beverage alcohol industry reported that the alcohol industry is generally considered recession-proof. But there are certain market changes that occurred during recessions. For example, in the 2008 recession, beer sales went way down and hard liquor sales went way up. Wine and ready-to-drink products were either flat or increased slightly according to Bev Alc Insights. It was similar to the 2001 to 2003 recession. All volumes were increasing except for beer. Market analyst Josh Kincaid wrote in an investment website, Bazinga, that since stocks such as alcohol have benefits, including recession-proof, generating strong and consistent earnings, and having limited competition. We have to think about this kind of stuff as we're moving into what we do know is coming, and that is a recession. I believe it's going to be worse than that. It's going to be a crash. And with all that being said, we'll talk about the sponsor. LQR House. It's listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker LQR. Number one good point is be listed if you're going to be a stock company that wants to be publicly traded on an exchange where every single person that's got an app or a trading platform can buy it. A lot of companies that start out small and they start out on these OTC exchanges, the pink sheets, things like that, they aren't tradable on every platform. So you want to be out in the open and available for trading. Now, this company has a really interesting thing because it's a brand new company. It IPO'd just literally weeks ago, and it IPO'd around a price of $5. Now, they did an IPO round of raising. They raised $5 million, and that was around the $5. Since then, they have been hammered with shorts. I'm gonna throw up a chart of what's going on, the updated daily short volume data, and it is pretty darn impressive. It took that stock, within the last couple of weeks of it coming out public, it took it from 5 down to a little bit over 1 from the recording of this. Now, think about this. This is what I think about. That market cap was around 50 million. Now it's around 13 million. Last year, they did around $600,000 in revenue, and they're obviously expected to do more this year. They're taking a very different approach on liquor sales, wine sales, and things like that. Totally different than the average advertising company, and this is what I like. So they raised $5 million. They've got that in the bank right now. Market cap's at 13 million or a little bit more. They're on the NASDAQ. They've been pounded down by shorts. This is what they do different. They're essentially, I like to think of this as a marketing company. They call themselves a digital face for the alcohol space. One of their strongest assets is the exclusive partnership they have with CWspirits.com. Because of the capability to ship alcohol throughout the United States, basically the success of LQR House, their marketing efforts shines through the sales that come through the CWS e-commerce website. If you know anything, or if you may not know this, shipping alcohol is actually extremely difficult because every different state has a different set of regulations. The cost for shipping, there's so much information that has to be disclosed to every single different state. Certain checkboxes have to be done, and it is very, very time consuming, costly, and it's neat when a company can do business with a company that already has all of that set up. In the wine industry where I live, wine clubs, and this company has a wine club, they know it is very hard for a lot of these wineries to compete with the bigger wineries because they don't have the amount of employees and the amount of money it takes to get these systems set up and integrated in their shipping systems, integrated to their wine club sales, so they can only reach a certain amount of people because they can only ship to certain states. So that's something that's very important. Okay, so let's throw up a slide of the revenue model. So first, marketing contracts. They have paid for marketing and advertising services, wide network of over 500 influencers. Now, think about this. They have influencers that are rock solid in the industry. We're talking sommeliers, mixologists, people that have channels devoted to making special drinks, food pairing, and things like that. This company knows that it is important to get the information of what they sell, what they provide, their services, and what products they provide right in front of the end user. They are not going through an advertising company. They have email marketing, SMS marketing, and ad space on CWSspirits.com. Now, their wine club is interesting. The wine club, LQR House, will own 100% of Soleil Vino, the exclusive wine club of or for the CWS Spirits platform. LQR House will be entitled to 100% of the subscription fees from that. Vault subscriptions, Vault is a paid subscription service offered by LQR House and CWSspirits.com that gives users access to additional products otherwise unavailable at a premium price. And then they have brand development. On top of that, they also have Swole Tequila, SWOL, an extremely limited edition. The blend of tequila is a special release of just 10,000 bottles. Accompanying each hand-numbered bottle is a peel-off sew-on patch designed by Los Angeles-based artist Rise Work. This is just a testimony to this company wanting to dominate the advertising space when it comes to wine and liquor sales. Point being is this. I thought this was an interesting story because you have a company that comes out, listed on the NASDAQ, ready to rock and roll. Their stock gets shorted heavily. We're talking about an industry that is going to boom. The entire industry of liquor and wine sales will boom during recession times. People feel bad about themselves, they feel bad about their situation, and they end up drinking. That's just a fact of the matter. This stock being pushed down, having money in the bank, and wanting to completely rewrite the idea of how you get advertising for a product to the end user is totally different. Using social media, using these influencers that are specializing in this industry, I think is a really neat story. So I wanted to bring it to you. Also, I want to thank them for sponsoring this video, because without sponsors, I couldn't just do this every day. I'd have to go do other things. With that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.